Hi, I'm Chuck Heron, Field CISO for F5.
And I'm Lori McVitty, Distinguished Engineer and Chief Evangelist for F5.
All right. So, Laura, let's talk cybersecurity and specifically API security. So, a lot of companies think or believe that their APIs may be secure, but you have some new research that indicates maybe as an industry or a species, we don't have our arms around this as much as we think we do. Let's talk about the secret life of APIs and some of your recent findings.
Awesome. Okay. Yes, we sent out a survey and we asked API security decision makers all about their APIs, what they're made of, what they do, where they live, where they go at night, and which bars they hang out at. Okay. And right, we found out, interesting stats like the average organization has 421 APIs, which we know means they actually have a lot more endpoints that they need to secure. But one API could have multiple different endpoints, right? Like our eye control is an API. That's what we call it. But there are 1,000 different endpoints that someone could actually call, right? They could call /management, /virtual server, /something else. And then each one of those actually has multiple more, right, parameters that go on the end and make these URIs unique. When you look at how we apply things like web application security and now API security, we do it based on the URI. So if you have 2,000 different URIs, guess what? You kind of have to focus on, okay, what does this one need? Is it the same as the other one? It's a long and tedious process. So being able to automate that, right, and do more, so make our systems more intelligent, is really an imperative to helping these folks, right, secure all of those different APIs.
Right. So each one of those endpoints is an avenue in for some set of functions or things that you want to do, whether it's inputting data, copying data, moving data, modifying data, updating, creating, reading, deleting. Each one of those is an entryway, and you need to understand what each of them do, right? To really understand what you're exposing and who's doing what.
Right. Right. Because each one, and some are more sensitive than others, right? And then
Yeah.
if you want to add zero trust, and now we have to look at each one and say, well, who is authorized to touch that endpoint versus this endpoint? Right. And that's where we're headed, because most systems, both internally and externally, right, all of these apps, everything that runs our operations is APIs.
So, Lori, as we bring this segment to a close, what are maybe the 2 or 3 most important takeaways from the research that you'd like our audience to carry away from this, and what should they be doing?
The first one is you have a lot of APIs that aren't protected, and you need to focus on how to do that. So you need to sit down and think about how you're going to approach that. One of the things might be who's in charge of your API security strategy in the first place, right? Get everybody to the table and understand what's protected, what you have and what you can use, and what isn't being used right now. And then move forward with some kind of plan to protect all of your APIs, not just the ones that somebody remembered exist.
Got it. So don't assume that you know your whole attack surface. Find your owners, find your visibility, and start from there. Understand who's on the hook for this, and then start getting your arms around that attack
Yep.
surface.
Yep.
My name's Chuck Heron. Thank you for being with us today.
And I'm Lori McVitty. Thank you. And I want to remind you that you can pick up any copy of our research at f5.com. Just look for the State of Application Strategy.